Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's Mary, and I'm here today with my 90 days and 900 seconds. I'm a couple of days late. Sorry, guys. I'm back in New York City. I was visiting Brianna in Northern California. I'm jet lagged. I'm exhausted, but I'm finally back into the swing of things, and I'm here with my 90 days and 900 seconds. Happily ever after. Season 7, Episode 12, Isn't She Lovely? I don't know who the episode title could be referring to. Definitely not Angela, but isn't she lovely? Definitely not. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a C, and that is only because Kimberly and her reactions and just the glow on her face, but I will get into that later on. So let's jump right in, and I'm going to get straight to the part that annoyed the living crap out of me. Bilal and Shaaeda, for many, many reasons. But I'm going to jump straight in to the part that really got to me as a native New Yorker. First of all, hating Shaaeda. Do you have short-term memory loss, homegirl? Um, it was not your first time in New York City. Please hold. Now, Shaaeda and Bilal start off their segment discussing how they are going to New York City to meet with Shaaeda's friend, Uterus, who is flying in from New Orleans to meet Bilal, Shaaeda's husband, for the first time. So they go to New York, where Shaaeda emerges from the airport to announce that New York air smells like a posy. What is a posy, you may ask? A place in the Caribbean where they store urine. Now, not only am I offended by the statement, because the air by the airport does not smell like urine, the subway does. This I will agree with. The subway may smell like a posy, homegirl, but not the air by the airport. I take offense to that. But hey, maybe I'm immune to it as a native New Yorker. I give you that. But one thing I will not give you, Shaaeda, is weren't you in New York when you went to the tell-all? Do we have short-term memory loss? Or was this all filmed at the same time? Which one is it? Because from what I recall, you were at the tell-all. You and Bilal were at the 90-day fiance tell-all, which was in New York City. This is you arriving at the tell-all with your man. And this is you on stage at the tell-all, which was taped in New York City. So, which one is it? Did you visit New York City for the first time when you were flying in to see Uterus for dinner? Was this your first time visiting New York City? Was all this taped at once? I don't know. Interesting. Some things that make you think. You know something? I'm so worked up by this, I didn't even set my timer for this section. So let me set my timer, guys. I apologize. So I just wanted to get this off my chest because this is total bullshit. The air outside of New York City airport does not smell like a posy. And I don't know, there's a discrepancy here about Shaaeda visiting New York for the first time because from what I recall, she was at the tell-all, which was taped in New York. So, all right, guys, I am setting my timer for 15 minutes so I could go on with the rest of thingy here. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to get out of this. And there I go. Hi. So Bilal and Shaaeda go to meet. You just for dinner. And dinner did not start off well at all, guys. It did not start off well. Uterus has Bilal's number. She could tell straight off that he is a defensive, gaslighting POS, and she does not like him at all for her BFF. She's like, hell's no, no fucking way. This guy is full of BS. I do not want him with my BFF. He is a POS, and Shaaeda, all Shaaeda could do is just say, Bilal, have some crackers. Bilal, let's order a drink. Uterus, let's order a drink. And Uterus just is like, I want to ask you questions about your relationship with my friend. And Bilal's like, well, I've already met with her mama. I already met with her daddy. I met with all of her sisters. So honestly, mind your business. And Uterus is like, well, you didn't pass the BFF test. Why are you being so defensive? And Bilal is just like, well, sometimes you shouldn't stick your nose where it doesn't belong. And Uterus is basically like, Shaaeda's my BFF. Bilal, my nose belongs in this business. So Uterus is like, Bilal, why are you so tense? And at that moment, Bilal was the definition of tense. And Bilal's like, me, tense? No. Tense? Me, tense? I'm a tense. So, poor Shaaeda is just sitting there between the two of them. Her eyes are practically popping out of her head, trying to get Bilal to eat crackers because he's like hangry, And this did not start off well. Uterus has his number, and that's all I have to say about that. So, moving on, we have Kim and Usman. Kim and Usman, believe it or not, was kind of the highlight of this episode. So we start off with Usman. He goes to meet Pradeep. Oh, I apologize, guys. Pradeep. Okay, the girl that his mom wants him to marry. So at first, Usman is like, ugh, I really don't want to do this. I really do not want to do this. Then he gets there, and the smile on his face lights up the whole room. Pradeep is young, beautiful, soft-spoken, nice, everything that you want in a woman, except she won't be the second wife. She's not having it. Nope, nope, nope. So, she talks about how she's known Usman from before. He has come to her house. She's seen his music on social media. She's like, she's into him. But like Usman says, they need to get to know each other more. And of course, they exchange numbers. So Usman tells his mom, I like Pradeep, but I love Kimberly. You have to invest in a relationship. You have to know a person. And I love Kimberly. I know Kimberly. Kimberly has my heart. So it's the last day in Sokoto. And Kimberly is like really frustrated. She's like, well, what am I going to do? We really need to get this blessing. And, Usman is like, let's see what happens, because his brother and his mom, called him to like one final meeting. And Kimberly's like, shit, this is it. Like, what's going to happen? Like, what's going on? So they got there, and the brother pulls out a letter and hands it to Kimberly. So you can see her face. She's like, oh, fuck. Hands her the letter, and Kimberly starts reading the letter. So basically, it's like at the terms of like the marriage. So basically, Kimberly agrees that any and all property or like theirs. She agrees that Usman is, to marry a second wife, to produce children, that if he is to go to the United States, that Kimberly allows him to come home every quarter, and basically it's a letter giving the mom's blessing to this union. So as Kimberly's reading this letter, her face lights up with joy. And that is the highlight of this episode. Kimberly's face lighting up with joy when she realizes Mama Usman finally gave her her blessing. And Usman's like, yes. And they're celebrating. And there you go. Kimberly got the blessing. Congratulations, Kim. She got her blessing. So, moving on. Another highlight. This is actually the second highlight of the episode. Jenny and Sumit, and that for the reason why you're thinking. So, Jenny, she's fallen, but we got to give it to her. She got up and she bounced right back. So, in preparation for her daughter and her daughter-in-law's visit, Jenny was trying to hang some pictures on the wall, but she was using a wobbly chair as a ladder, and she fell and she injured her shoulder. So we start off their segment. Jenny is at a physical therapist's office, and she's doing like all these, these things. The doctor's doing all these things with her arm, to test her range of pain. And then the doctor does acupuncture. Now, this was the highlight for me. The look on Sumit's face when she was sticking the needles in Jenny's arm. Sumit looked like he wanted to crawl into his own skin and vomit. That guy is deathly afraid of fucking needles. Jenny was the one that was getting them stuck into her arm. She didn't flinch. She didn't make a face. Meanwhile, Sumit looked like he wanted to fucking die. That was hysterical to me. So, and Jenny's like, you see, this is why you can't work all the time. You can't work 8 days, 25 hours a day, because, accidents can happen. I'm old. I could fall. I could I could fall in the bathtub. You never know. And then you'll come home 8 days later and find me in the bathtub. Like, do you want this to happen? And basically Submit's like, it's a good thing that your daughter and your daughter-in-law are coming to visit because they could watch you for a little while. So I don't understand, Sumit. Why did you marry Jenny if you do not want to live the retired life? Like, you realize that Jenny wants to stay home and live the retiree life. You want to work 8 days a week, 25 hours a day. I don't get it. So Jenny reunites with her daughter Christina and her daughter-in-law Jen, and that just gave me the warm fuzzies in my heart, the way she was squealing and jumping up and down and hugging them. And let me tell you, her daughter-in-law Jen has resting bitch face like no other. That bitch could be sitting there with a huge smile on her face and still look like she's gonna beat the shit out of you. I love Jenny's daughter-in-law. She fucking cracks me up. So they're all sitting there talking. Christina, Jenny's daughter, is having a beer with her pop Sumit. And basically Christina's like, Sumit, I'm not really happy that you don't have my mom's back 100%. It's kind of bullshit. My mom is here by herself in a foreign country. She has no family. She has no support system. And you're constantly taking your mother's, you're constantly taking your family's side. You're constantly running to your mother. When is my mom, your wife, going to be your 100% number one priority? Like, what is up with this, Sumit? And her wife, Jenny's daughter-in-law, Jen, is sitting next to her with her resting bitch face, looking at Sumit like she's getting ready to rip his head off and eat it for lunch any fucking minute. And I love her for it. And basically, Sumit says during his confessional that Christina doesn't understand. In his culture, parents are always first, and she needs to shut the fuck up until she understands that. and not so many words, but you know what I'm trying to say. So moving forward, we'll see how this all works out. So now, moving on, Andre and Libby. We have Andre and Libby going to visit an alpaca farm. And you know something? Andre kind of reminds me of an alpaca. Alpacas are always looking angry, always spitting, just. Andre reminds me of an alpaca. Drop me a comment and tell me if you think Andre reminds you of an alpaca or what kind of an animal you think Andre reminds you of. So anyway, they go to the alpaca farm and Chuck sits Libby down and has a really deep conversation with her about announcing to the rest of the family her pregnancy on Instagram. And he's like, I'm really touched that you brought me on this trip and you decided to announce to me and to Andre's, father special, but it really hurts me because, I had cancer. I almost died on the operating table, and I don't feel like that God brought me back for me to see my family to be fractured like this. And you know something? That hit me here. That really hit me here. I get what Chuck is saying. It's fucked up when your family is fractured. So he's really trying to convince Libby that the family needs to become unfractured. And he thinks family therapy is the way to go. So the next scene, we see Andre and Libby roasting marshmallows. Yummy. And Libby says, my dad thinks we all should go to family therapy. He doesn't want to see the family fractured. I'm pregnant again. Maybe this is a good idea. And Andre's basically like, I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. Your family is the problem, but I will go to this therapy thing for Chuck. If Chuck wants to do therapy, I will do therapy, but I have no problems. I am not the problem, Libby. I will do therapy, though, just one time because Chuck wants me to. So let's see how the family therapy goes. So anyway, we're going to move on to Jovi and Yara before I hit Michael and Angela, and I have about 3 minutes left. So here we go. Jovi and Yara. They go to meet Jovi's friend, Tamalaj, who they call T for short because no one could pronounce Tamalaj. So this was Jovi's single traveling buddy. This is the guy that Jovi used to travel with all over Europe, get drunk, hang out with the strippers and all that stuff. And Yara wasn't going to like him. She's like, So T lives in Germany now. So he, met them for dinner. And he starts telling Yara all of, Jovi's single stories. How one time he had to go meet these 2 Ukrainian girls because Jovi was running late and it was like weird, because he had to go walk into a bar and meet these 2 girls he didn't even know and be like, hi, I'm Jovi's friend and I'm here, to like entertain you until Jovi gets here. And Yara's like, wait a minute, Jovi. I thought I was the only Ukrainian chick you ever dated. And Jovi's like, listen, we both had lives before we met each other, so relax. And Yara's like, wait a second. I thought you only had one girlfriend before me. And I have a bridge to sell you, Yara, okay, if you believe that shit. So anyway, I think Yara was being a bitch to T for no good reason, because it's not T's fault that Jovi was a man whore before he met Yara and he wasn't honest about it. Like, what the fuck? But that's no reason to be rude to the dude. So Jovi asked Yara, would it be okay if, T hangs out with him when they go to Germany? Because now the next stop on Jovi and Yara's European tour is to go to Germany to help Yara's friend Karina out, who recently escaped from the Ukraine. So Yara's like, Jovi, this is not a party trip. We're going to Germany to help my friend Karina out. And Jovi's like, and what am I supposed to do while you are going to help out Karina and you're doing your whole humanitarian thing or whatever you're doing? Oops, my time is up. Your humanitarian thing or whatever you're supposed to be doing. And what am I supposed to do? Can I bring tea? And Yara's like, just know that this is not a party trip. Do whatever you want. T could do whatever he wants. Just know that this is not a party trip. So let's see how this turns out. Dun, dun, dun. And just in time for the final 90 seconds of my 90 days and 900 seconds, Michael and Angela. So, and Michael agrees to take down his Instagram. Surprise. But that's not good enough for Angela. She needs to check his contacts. So she practically rips the phone out of his hand. And there's an unknown woman in the contacts. That's not his mother. That's not his sister. That's not his cousin on his mother's side, twice removed. She doesn't recognize the name. It's Angeli. Angelle or something like that. So she's like, no. So she calls her. And she's like, hello? Wait, let me get my phone. I have to demonstrate this. Reenact this. Hello? This is Angela, Michael's wife. Could you tell me why your number's in my husband's contacts? And of course, the woman hung up. I mean, wouldn't you hang up if you just put yourself in this Nigerian woman's shoes? If some crazy, loudmouth, yelling American woman called your phone, wouldn't you hang up on her? Like, wouldn't you hang up? I don't give a shit if the caller ID said Jesus Christ. I would have hung up on her ass. Okay, so she calls, yells at the woman hangs up on her, and Michael's like, that is my classmate. And she's like, is that the one that you called your person on Instagram? Is this your person? This is so ridiculous. I cracked myself up. And Michael's like, yes. Did you cheat on me? Was she beautiful? And Michael's like, I haven't done anything. Stop it. And this is so disgusting. And this is what you call gaslighting. She is turning around her abuse on him to make it seem like it is his fault. She is gaslighting him. He's like, no, I haven't done anything, Angie. Stop it, Angie. There is no reason for all of this, Angie. She's like, have you cheated on me? Tell me now. Was she beautiful, Michael? Carrying on with all this stupid bullshit. Michael is begging. He is begging for her to believe him that this is just a friend. And I am begging for her to get the fuck off my TV already. And that's all I have to say. Oh, and now I know what else I wanted to say. I wanted to show you guys that Michael now has an Angela approved Instagram. Please hold. Here we go, guys. Michael has an Angela approved Instagram, and he actually retweeted a tweet that was featured on the official 90 Day Fiancé Instagram page. I am sure this is all Angela approved. Thank you so much, guys, for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Please like my video. And you know what else would make me so happy? If you would share this with a friend. Thank you so much. Catch you next time. Bye.